I'll start out with an intangible, Mark, and I'm a pretty intense dude, man. When you start talking about this sport, and you start watching the film, you can really sit there and be as pissed off as you want. You can find something wrong. You can, this guy sucks, and fire that guy. This guy, pull him. He's horrible. There's no need to do that. And I understand from a certain perspective, all you're going to see is the fact that our right tackle got destroyed. Our QB wasn't able to make the right throws. Our running back is dancing in the backfield. But then you turn on the film and you see he had nowhere to go. You turn on the film and see Alabama forced De'Aaron King into certain reads by bringing someone late into the box. Okay, so he's not able to pull and throw that pass because there's somebody right there. He's not able to pull and run because there's somebody right there waiting on him. All right, so of course they force him into the weak side blitz. So they force him to give the ball to Cam. And guess what? As soon as Cam gets the ball, there's a linebacker sitting right there. Okay, that's scheming. That's breaking it down. And I understand at face value, we got our asses kicked, Mark. At face value, there's more to it. All right, there's more to if you watch the fact that we were down 10-0. We got the ball back. All right, we get a first down. And then the very next play after that first down, we go hurry up. We did a fake wide receiver screen. Mike Harley out of the second slot, so he's number 2, beats their safety one-on-one. He plants it, and he goes around. But guess what? As soon as he strip sack. But, you wouldn't notice that if you wouldn't take the time to look within these plays and look at what was going on and look at how we did fight. They were trying. This team was just that much better than us, to the point where they were prepared way better than us. They executed way better than us. And when the opportunity presented itself, especially for that national championship winning defense, they took full advantage of us. And we're just not there yet. I'm not here to make excuses for it because it's on the University of Miami to have a better program. It's on the University of Miami to go out there and have a better product on the football field so that young men can want to be a part of your program and commit here, sign here, play here, and be developed. But as of right now, year 3 under Coach Manny Diaz, he ran into a buzzsaw. And we got chipped through it, Mark. It's just that simple. Our quarterback missed some reads, and in some of those reads, he was forced into it. Okay. Our running game did a little bit better than I honestly expected. There was plenty of times where we moved the Alabama front off of the line, but once we got into situations where we had to run the ball, all right, they knew. And they made sure that someone was in that gap and in every gap and manned their gap, and they were not moved off of the ball. It's just that simple. Tight end wise, people were complaining, Mark, why are we not using the tight end in the red zone? These linebackers and safeties obviously know that Will Mallory is our go-to in the red zone. He was triple teamed. So we had no one to go to in the red zone. Wide receiver wise, very pleased. Very, very pleased. One dropped pass, Mark. We averaged 6 in every game last year. One dropped pass. And it was on the sideline, and Restrepo was smacked like he was catching it and got popped in the ball with in the air. Okay. It's that simple. Now, were there some on the offensive side of the ball, was there some calls I was a little eerie of? Yeah, I mean, calling a QB draw out of the shotgun on the 1-inch yard line when you have 2 timeouts, as opposed to calling the timeout, letting the review to Donald Chaney Jr. play right before that, while you spend a little extra time talking over your next play? No. But I understand in the heat of the moment, you want to be able to go out there and try to score touchdowns. I get it. You want to go fast. I understand. And I think we're going to grow and learn from that experience. Now, this may not be what a lot of people want to hear. They maybe want me to come on and flip crap and I'm not that kind of person. I'm just not. I understand what's going on out there. I understand the scheming and the trying, and especially when you sit and you break down this film, you see There were opportunities there. Alabama just took them away. They knew our plan A, they knew our plan B, they knew our plan C, and they had a way to take all of those things away. And they knew we had no more depth past that. Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. Mark, when you get a freshman quarterback into third down, you feel as though you win. You feel as though this is what we wanted. Mark, we had 4 third and 7s. Okay. We had 5 third and 8 plus. How many of those you think they converted?
Well, I watched the first half of the game. I wasn't counting, but so we're talking about 9 total plays in third and long.
Just those 9, because they had other third downs, but
sure.
Those 9.
The 9 third and longs, I'm going to say they converted. They should convert 2 or 3 statistically. I'm going to say 7.
Mark, 9. There were 9 of 9 on third and longs. Now, you turn on, at face value, that sounds horrible. That sounds trash. But then I say, okay, let me turn on the film. We sent blitzes, Mark. We fake blitzes but dropped them back. We sent 3 and dropped 8 back. We tried man. We tried zone. We just aren't that damn good yet. But when you watch it, Mark, we tried. And I'm not here to make excuses for Coach Diaz, but he tried. He tried. Sent 4, 6, 7. He tried, and I get it. It doesn't feel like it. Cage fan, this one, it hurts. But just know we're definitely not that bad. We just ran into one of the best teams. Are there some things I'm a little worried about on the defensive side of the ball? Absolutely. I'm a little worried about our man coverage skills, but I also think, Mark, how much can I really take away from this when I know we're going up against the top 1% of college football? It's the top 1%. Okay? You're going up against wide receivers who were the best. You're going up against 5-star wide receivers when you're out there rolling with guys who are on a 3 or 4-star level, who are giving you great effort. It just looks like they're not, because one dude is pulling away from the other one. But the other guy's straining and running as hard as he can. The other guy's just jogging, but he's in front of him.
And wholesome one.
Players. Go ahead.
Not to interrupt. I'm sorry, because you led me right into something. You may remember me saying this a number of times during the offseason. This is one of the reasons why, as a neutral observer that just wants to see a good college football game and be able to evaluate teams, this is one of the reasons why I didn't like this game. I didn't want to see this game. I said this a number of times. I said, unless Miami wins, of course, or if they play it really close, then I'm going to be able to take something away. But if I get what I think I'm going to get, then I'm not going to be able to evaluate Miami that well. I would rather see Texas or Penn State or somebody like that on the other side where I'm like, wow, okay, this is comparable. I want to see how this plays out. So like you're saying exactly what I was thinking the entire offseason about. This might be difficult to evaluate.
And I could only imagine how difficult it is for these coaches to keep the spirits of the young men up, because it seemed as though they were trying their hardest. They just I can't run with this dude, coach. Excuse me. You got defensive linemen. Yeah, sometimes they got blown off the ball, but there were plenty of times, Mark, Jafari Harvey is right there, hitting the QB as he's letting the ball go, completion. It was just like, throw your hands in the air. It's like, what do we do? What do? We get him in 3rd and 2nd. He comes up and makes us jump off sides for a conversion. We get him in 3rd and 8. And we send 3 and drop 8. Zach McLeod goes inside, so he just moseys over. There's no one in the area. Oh, someone's open. Conversion. You felt hopeless. And that's what I'm saying as far as that effort that want to, I saw it. Did I see it in droves as much as I really, really want? No. But there were plenty of guys out there straining and giving their all. They just weren't there. And then they just couldn't hang with this well-oiled machine. Well-oiled machine. They, again, Mark, I spoke about this last week in preparation for when you have three former NFL head coaches, two of them were GMs of their same organizations. There's a different level of preparation they had to put to be prepared on Sundays. Now all these guys, these two men, one of them is coaching the offensive line, the other one is coaching the QBs and the offense, just the offense, and Bill O'Brien. Again, these are not excuses. Insert name here, fan who's mad that Wholesome's on here making excuses. Nope, not what I'm doing. Insert fan here, I can't stand this guy because all he just chill. Understand? We got plenty of time left in this season. We spoke about it, win or lose. You can't allow this game to defeat you or have you overexcited, overamped, and ready to go for the rest of the season. Because guess what? App State is in Alabama. But I promise you, if we gave them the same level of attention to detail and focus, we probably win that game by 30 points. Then the next week, you got Michigan State, who's going to come now, who played very well. Sparty played very well. Okay. Is there some coaching flaws that I saw, Mark? Yes. Was there some out of position? Was there some kind of bonehead stuff that I saw? Absolutely. Unnecessary things? Yes. There's going to be a little bit more fixing and execution, especially when our young guys played as many snaps as they did. Cam Kinchins, one of my favorite recruits from last recruiting class, is out there. And a couple snaps where he wasn't in the right position. He's playing 15 yards off, all right, on a 2nd and 8 to the field side, and they called the wide receiver screen. His first 3 steps were all backwards. All right. And he's in man coverage and it's 2 by 2, and you're the only 2 people to that side. There's no one to cover deep, and he steps backwards as opposed to stepping forward. And what does their QB know how to do? Oh, they're off. Check down. Let my wide receiver do all the work. And those things happen when you have young players. You have pups on that football field, and they just haven't been together as a unit just yet. You talk about the 94-yard touchdown on a deep over route. Okay, Gervin Hall is hanging at the numbers instead of playing the hash, out of position. So what does that wide receiver do? Drags all the way across the field, and Gervin Hall is out of position and can't make a play on the football because he's not there. Those things are correctable. I know a lot was thrown necessarily to the wolves, but a little bit thrown off when Bubba Bolden is out of the game for targeting. Okay. On that play, I wish people would take the time to say Robinson gets hit in the leg and falls forward. Bubba Bolden, 5 yards before that, is already going low to tackle Robinson in his legs. BJ Jennings hits the running back's knee, so the running back, boom, falls like this. So they incidentally run into each other, and Bubba Bolden gets a targeting and an ejection out of the game. I think the outrage about that penalty is gonna change next year, but unfortunately, they won't make those kind of things in the middle of a season because you don't want to be going back and forth from as far as administration viewpoint. I think it'll be some changes towards that next year because, some of the people whose opinions they value very high are not happy about the fact that a player gets disqualified. A 15-yard penalty, sure, we understand, but it's also incidental. There's a difference. And then if you leave things up to opinion, whether it's incidental or aggressive. Just like remember, a lot of people don't know there used to be a 5 yard and a 15 yard face mask, where
Sure.
it was incidental attacking on the face mask and face mask. Take that thought process out. If he yanks the face mask, 15 yards. If you hit a player in the head, just call it 15 yards. Heck, make it 30. Just kicking people out of the game, to me, it just doesn't make any sense.